If you've read carbuyer.com.sg, you would have realized we've said that compact hatches are dead. But today we're going to look at a compact hatch that costs $200,000 in Singapore, is totally sold out, and is also now owned by one of Singapore's most accomplished racing drivers, Mr. Ringo Chong, right here.
Hi Derryn, how are
Hey,
you?
Ringo. How are you? Well, I know how you are because of that thing behind you. You're doing really well.
Yeah, this is my new baby to the family and I really love him. It's really nice.
And we're going to hear all about Ringo and that car right there. So just so you know, it is the Toyota GR Yaris, one of the most cool and special hot hatches created in recent history. Okay, before we get into detail with the Toyota GR Yaris, let's find out a bit more about Ringo, in case you don't know who Singapore's most successful racing driver is. Yeah, so...
Yes, what do you want to hear from me?
What have you won?
Well, I think I've won many races since karting in the mid-80s, car park rallies, and those were all special milestone in my life. But I think the most important one is the 3 races that I won. The Aston Martin F1 Support Race Cup in 2009, and then after that I won the 2 Ferrari Challenge and the 488 in 2017. So 2 times, so 3 times in Singapore F1 Support Race.
Yeah. And still the only Singaporean to have won on Marina Bay Circuit, which is pretty damn impressive in my opinion, anyway.
It was my childhood dream always. Then I told myself, I said, I want to do it in Singapore. And when the Singapore Grand Prix came, every year I did not give it a miss. For 10 years I raced in Singapore F1 Support Race.
Extra magical moment for you, right?
Yeah, it's very special, very special.
So more recently you did a video with Toyota and the GR Yaris, a bit of stunt driving, very exciting looking video.
I thought of this very nice warehouse that we used to take pictures in there. It's pretty wide and then it's a closed area, so we came up with this idea of doing it in this warehouse. Some dynamic driving and features and all, and it was really cool, very fun.
And just to be sure, the GR Yaris actually can drift because we see a bit of like tail slidey action in that video.
Yeah. Worked very hard. I did almost a 12-hour take. We started at 4 for me, and I finished at 6:30 before I drove home. We did a lot of handbrake turns. We did a lot of drift.
Who paid for the tires?
I think it was Borneo Motors. No, it wasn't my car. It was their car.
How many sets of tires?
Only one.
Only one? That's a professional talking. Well, the key thing here is that you're very familiar with the GR Yaris because you actually bought one, right? And
yes.
How did that happen?
Well, when Toyota had this news about this GR Yaris, I was a bit taken back. I was like, oh, really? Because we all brought up from driving manual cars before. Yeah? All this, the thing about a rally car. So through, I drove the WRX and the Evos and all, and yeah, just when I saw this car, I was like, wow, I won one.
Right. So let's talk about the specialness of the car. I think Toyota hasn't really made a car like that for decades, probably, right? Even other manufacturers, homologation special. When's the last time you drove one or touched one, right?
In the 90s, that word homologation special, usually it's the 90s. And homologation special...
we have to explain what homologation special is for readers.
You explain.
Okay, so if you want to go racing, you have to build X number of cars for it to be legal. That's called a homologation special. So they'll take the car, make a bit of adjustments to it, some performance improvements, and these cars are quite rare usually because they make only a handful.
Yeah, usually they need to make maybe like 25,000 of them or lesser, and to meet the regulation. So for this GR Yaris, it's because of the WRC. In 2019, 2018, Toyota won the WRC itself. They wanted to build a car that would be very suited for the WRC itself. So if you look at the design of the shape of the car, with the sloped tail and everything, so that they can put a big wing at the back, with a 1.6 engine, so 1.6 litre, if you run a 4-cylinder, it'd be very heavy, so they built the world lightest 3-cylinder and most powerful. So everything in the whole chassis, the whole body shell, it's very rigid, extra well, extra gluing. So it's really stiff. Suspension arm mounting is different. The diff setup, the gearbox setup, it's just everything is there. The brakes are huge. The brakes are bigger than the Supra brakes.
Wow,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But
So
they look really huge,
and for a car that's weighing only like 1,280 kilo, it's really direct. But it's back to the old school. It's manual. It's easy to put a pedal shift in there.
Old
Okay.
school,
Yeah. So it's manual and everything. When I first took the car, I forgotten how to drive a manual. I mean, it's a joke. I like to
really?
share it in this first time when I drove the car. All the Toyota people were there looking at me, and then I drove it, and they say, "Ringo, why don't you try the car?" I said, "Okay." I went in the car, and then I pulled the gear lever up. I said, "Okay, this is reverse," and then I push this way, and I want to engage reverse, and I keep pushing it. It doesn't work, and I look at the car. I say, "Shucks, everybody's looking at me. Why isn't it working?" And I was very angry. Then I say, "Oh shit, I forgot to press the clutch." That's the clutch. So I'll press the clutch now. And everybody looked at me and smiled, and I pretended nothing happened. I just drove the car.
Oh, you're like, yeah, I always do this. Ringo, that's reverse. Yeah, but I mean, the car is very, very special. I mean, number one, we don't even have the regular Yaris hatchback, compact hatchback here anymore, which is what I said about compact hatchbacks dying. And all of a sudden, we got a homologation special Yaris. Costs $200,000 here, and there's only, for now, there's only 22 in Singapore, and you were one of the lucky 22. It totally sold out as well, right?
Everybody just loved the cars that were built like this. You don't find cars like this anymore. I mean, it's not that quick. I mean, you want it to be really fast. It can be 400 horsepower, then it's really fast, but this is good enough. The whole package.
Only 260, only.
Yeah, but the whole package feels much quicker than that.
Yeah.
It puts a smile on your face when you drive it, and I like it because it's not so noisy.
Okay.
I have other cars that makes very loud noises, stock. And then to start the car and drive out in the night, your neighbors look at you when the light turns on, so it's not very nice.
Well, more importantly, what did your wife say when you brought it back?
That's a very sensitive question. I hope my wife is not going to watch this segment.
Just don't share it with her. Share with all her friends.
She told me, she said, "Why don't you get a car that you can use it as a runabout, maybe send the kids to school and everything." I said, "Yeah, it's a good car."
Right?
I said, "A small car, with a cheap road tax." I said, "Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. So I'm very happy.
So that's how you sneak a homologation special into the garage under the eyes of the law. So Ringo, I'm going to give you a tough question now. Okay, if you had to choose between the Yaris and your classic 911. Oh no,
Choose.
Silence.
Choose?
You can't choose.
Are you crazy?
You can go crazy, it's okay.
Are you crazy?
Yeah, some have said that.
No, I mean, every car has its different character, different usage. People ask me, say, which is your favorite car? I say, I don't have a favorite car. It's just like shoes. When we can afford them, we have many pairs of shoes. Yeah. Today I like to wear a loafer. Tomorrow I like to wear sneakers. The day after I want to wear a pointy leather shoe. Everyone has a different purpose in it.
So the next question, obviously, is how fast can you run in these shoes? No, I'm kidding. How does the car drive? In your words, really, how does it? It sounds like you really built a relationship with the GR Yaris.
I think the car is. After living with it for over 2 weeks now,
okay.
I really like the car very much. The handling, the overall appeal, the driving, it makes you alive. When you drive an auto car all the time, it's just, when you see a green light, you just release your brake pedal and you accelerate and you move on.
And your mind goes to space, right?
So for the manual car, many times, now I'm very cautious. I'm looking at the lights, when is it going to turn green? Okay, it's now to put in the first gear so that I don't get honked. Because Singapore, we have a lot of drivers that are super quick with the horn.
World record,
the moment the light turns green, beep, beep. So I don't want to be honked, and then, so you have to keep yourself alert. And then everything you have to think, it's more, you have to blend in the clutch, make it smooth so that your wife sitting beside you will not be shaking her head or something like that.
I'm trying to Instagram here, right?
But anyway, it's fun. Well, anyway.
But enough of the theoreticals. Let's go downstairs and have a closer look at the GR Yaris, and Ringo can tell us what he loves best about the car.
Sure.
Okay, we had the background about the car. Now, Ringo, why do you like the way it looks?
Well, honestly, because the car is very wide, it has
Yeah.
a very nice stand.
Yeah.
The front, I like the front very much with big intercooler grille. And you can see all these big holes. You can actually get the true plastic, true piping.
But they have a purpose, right?
Yeah, it's for the brake ducting, cooling and everything, you know.
Okay.
And then the air filter intake is on the top. The lights, the car basically looks very cute. I
Right.
like it because it looks like a very stout and strong little bulldog.
Bulldog. Oh, I think that is quite an accurate way of talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Ringo, I noticed there's a carbon fiber roof. Is there any other weight-saving measures on the Yaris?
The entire car is aluminium,
Wow.
except the bumpers and the rear bumper as well. Everything is all fully aluminium. Car is really light, and that makes the car feels very nice when you drive it. Very, very direct. The engine is positioned in a nice way as four-wheel drive, like what we said just now. But the roof itself also brings the CG lower. And in the car of this category, to have a carbon roof is really special. It's not easy.
Okay, Ringo, so, homologation special, WRC derived heritage, does it really feel that way? Not when you drive it, but when you sit in it.
Yes, definitely. Main thing I really love about the car is this 3-pedal. It's a manual gearbox.
Okay,
and this is so important. Okay, to have a back to basic rally car, you have it to be it has to be manual.
The engagement.
Yeah,
is there.
and the interior, when you sit in here, the car is small, but then the cabin is very big and you sit quite high up.
Right.
And it's very
I noticed
comfortable.
it's quite high.
Yeah, you can actually adjust it. So I have got no problems with it. The cabin and all makes you feel very, very comfortable, and seats are good.
Isn't that a weird thing to say about a racy, sporty car? Comfortable?
Well, a lot of people mistaken. They always say they like to have a go-kart feeling.
Yeah.
I always say I don't want a go-kart to be on the street because it doesn't work.
Right.
A go-kart works well on a racetrack,
Yeah.
or race car works well on a racetrack.
Yeah.
For this is more like a rally car,
Yep.
and it can take bump over everything,
Cool.
and it's really nice to drive.
Okay, you guys have heard all about why Ringo Chong loves his Toyota GR Yaris. So Ringo, anything else to add?
All I can say is this little car makes me smile every time I drive it, and I enjoy driving it every day.
Right.
Makes me feel young again.
Well, I think that's something money can't buy, right? So if you want to support Ringo, add him on Instagram or Facebook. And if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to carbuyer.com.sg. Stay tuned.
Thank you.